Good morning. Welcome to Philosophy. I'm your host, Jennifer Fallaw, and today we're going to go over the Jentel from yesterday, and then we're going to have some thoughts over coffee. I'm a little late putting the link out today, so we're just going to take a minute and let everybody get in here. Good morning, everyone. I see Diana, Joanne, Sandy, Nancy. Talking about something. Christine, I see you. Oregon Farm Girl, Tracy. Tristan seems new. Mary Gould, Thomas. So, we are living in a very exciting time, aren't we? And I didn't change that name, but I will. Run around too fast this morning. Haven't done a show in a few weeks, since before Christmas. Busy, busy, busy. So, everybody right now is waiting on the RV, as we have been for a while. And all the 20 years will jump up in the chat and say, it's been 20 years and I've been waiting on this thing. Well, yeah, I know. But we've never really been in the place that we are right now. And there are still things happening behind the scenes, getting ready for the change in values. And everyone is waiting for tier 4. Well, the liquidity with the funds for the other tiers, but notifications for tier 4B. Yesterday, I went in, like I always do on Monday morning, on Real News Live with Mike and Jen on Rumble. If you missed it, you can go back there and watch that show. Be sure to subscribe to us. Pretty soon, I have a channel here. I have a channel on Rumble. It's called Fallawsophy, just like the name of this show. And I'm going to start getting subscribers over there. I got to figure out how to stream with my streaming service to there, which there's been kind of a holdup. But I didn't have a channel, so I got the channel, and I got to get back to doing that, getting that set up. So that's happening soon. But as far as the RV, I went in yesterday. And so this is interdimensional meditation for January 13th, 2025. And interdimensional meditation is a light meditation. It's a projection of consciousness to a certain place. I like to project to heaven and ask my questions of, God, Jesus, and the archangels and see what I get. And that has shown to be very interesting over the years. So I went to talk with Archangel Michael, Gabriel, Jesus, and my whole team. There's quite a few archangels on that team. And I basically talked to Jesus the whole time. Usually, I take a look at what I'm wearing in meditation, and the dress has something, it's usually some kind of sign about where we are and what's going on. Yesterday, it was yellow. And for those of you that don't know the yellow story, long time ago when I was doing this interdimensional meditation and researching and practicing with somebody else who was doing it in a different way using HemiSync, our answers were coming back too close. It was too good. And so I didn't trust them, and I Sent it to somebody needs to talk to you in meditation. I sent him in. And I waited, and he came back, and, I told Archangel Michael that I don't trust him, and the code word is yellow. And that I'm going to send him in a meditation. I'm not going to tell him anything. And if he comes back and if he gives me the code word, I'll continue to do this. Well, he came back and sent me an email and said, I don't know who you want me to talk to, but Archangel Michael was there, and he said yellow and told me to leave. There we go. Okay. For some reason, when I do my show, StreamYard, it just, it whites out. All right, back to the Jentel. So the dress was yellow. And I don't know why yet, but I'm hoping that means that, so over time I told my following that, this story about the yellow. And that has become our code word for it's happening. So, you ever see me post something like a big yellow rose on Fallawsophy? It's happening. RV News. I asked why the delay. And Jesus said, the World Court has made a decision to delay the release of notifications until after inauguration of the U.S. president. I asked why, and he said the inauguration will take place, then executive orders will be signed, the SWIFT system and the quantum system running together allow for fraud to take place, and that has been a security breach. So over and over again, we've had these holdups, and I think, or these glitches we've heard about, and that's probably the problem. Other tiers wait for the release of funds as well to ensure payments are not confiscated by fraud. And yesterday I explained that well. We probably could go this week. They could do it this week. But if we're going to sit down at an exchange and somehow our monies could be stolen from us, as soon as we put some in the bank, that's not good. Yeah, it's not good. Waiting all this time to have that happen, and then where do you get that back? How do you get that back? So, there is a problem with the two systems running side by side, and something's going to happen after Trump gets into office to ensure that those monies aren't taken. And he assured me that there is time to complete the RV before your country changes its monetary system. So before we go to gold, there's time to get this done. So that was the Jentel for this week. I always like to repeat it on my show so that we have it recorded. I did get confirmation of that. So our timeline is sometime after the inauguration. There are two stories circulating now. Getting notifications this week, or things really moving and happening this week. I don't know if that's with the other tiers, but we've got movement. Things are happening. We're moving closer and closer to getting the notifications that we are waiting for so that we can go in and do our exchanges. But we're also, even just as exciting, is we're going to have Trump back in office. Everybody kind of glazes over that. We're going to have Trump back in office. We're going to have a lot of things happening. A lot of good things are going to go down. And that will be the implementation of Nasara Jasara in bits and pieces. They probably won't call it that. I've said that the whole time. But it's going to get good. It's going to be interesting. Now, as far as the backlash, I always saw, like the famous Q post. I don't know if I could do anything about this camera. And my stomach is growling really loud. I'm sorry about that. I forget to eat all the time. Let's put some coffee in there and see if that helps. Um, so I don't know if Trump gets in, starts changing things, and the minions come out of the woodwork and try to, oh, we're so outraged that you're doing things for the public. My God, how terrible. We don't like that. We want to be controlled by the cabal, and, we don't want to open our eyes and know anything. Now, and of course, my timelines for world events have not been very accurate, but you know what? I try. I always did see that big, the famous cute post, my fellow Americans, you undoubtedly realize that we are taking back our great country from those who wish to do us harm. That is always stuck in my mind. From those who wish to do us harm. Um, so I don't know what kind of backlash he's going to get when he gets back into office. Last time they hit him with pandemic and lawsuits and everything else they could do, impeachments and everything else. So I don't know how much power they have left. I'm sure the White Hats have probably got that all figured out. But it might be a little naive to assume that everything's going to be just sweet and nice. So, stay prepared like you always have been. We've all been stocked up all this time and prepared for whatever. I'm not even moving. Prepared for whatever's going to hit us. But I originally saw that, take everybody out and the big upheaval and all that stuff happening in the fall. So I don't know if he comes in and, little by little, gets everybody in their offices and in place and, with his cabinet and his administration and everything and confirmed and that all happens later. I'm not really sure when he announces that we go to gold. All right, I've had it with this. Let me see if I can do something here. Hang on. I think we're just a little too bright on the settings. Get over here. That, and I can't really see the screen, so I don't know what I'm doing. See if that helps at all. Good enough. Whatever. And my stomach's still growling. Anyway, just roll with it. Whatever. So it's going to be interesting. From now until the fall, it'll be interesting to see how this thing rolls out. The RV, the change of currency prices, everything, rates, that is the beginning in Asara Jasara. That is important because why? Because they have to pull in the old instruments of debt. Okay? Then we've got BRICS over there wanting to go to gold. We've got a whole lot of things ready to change. And so that should be an interesting time. All kinds of stuff in the news. So, I mean, could he wait a little while? Start making changes and then go to gold? So, for whatever reason, it seems as though Jesus is telling us that we have time to complete the RV. Because my concern was, okay, well, we got to get this done before Trump gets in because he's immediately going to go to gold. He's going to immediately change everything. And I've always said that they are going to roll out Nasara here. But they've changed it a little bit. So I don't know if they have already pulled people out of office or people just going to start resigning. I don't know how that's going to go. But it'll be, there'll be a lot to keep us occupied and interested over the next 6 months, 6 to 8 months probably. But I always saw that big the military coming in and doing all this in the fall. Because part of the post said that POTUS would be insulated and on Air Force One, and we never understood that if it would happen during Biden's administration. Well, maybe that happens now. But, she should happen to see protesters gathering and calling themselves patriots and things. Might not want to get involved with that. Because you might be baited into getting involved in something that was like January 6th, or it might just turn out bad. So think before you act if you should encounter something like that. I have no idea what's going to happen. We'll just have to take it as we go, one day at a time. Now, let's see if I got anything today from anyone, and if I could word it in such a way to tell you without telling you, but I will take a look. No. Everything was from yesterday. I think this was public, so I can say, I'm just going to say it looks like there's rumors that certain people could see the dong and dinar on the Forex. I have not confirmed that. And there are also rumors that things are going on with the bond people. So we've got movement. But I could totally see where it would probably take until after the 20th to get our notifications. But it could just, I could be wrong. It could just happen when nobody's expecting it. And Archangel Michael did tell us that years ago, that it'll happen in the dark of night when no one's looking or no one expects it. That's pretty much all I have right now. That's all I know. I'm not getting anything else to add to that. So, thoughts over coffee. Now, recently, you all know I went through a divorce, and then, that kind of hurt, and then, a lot, and then, but it hurt most up until that. That was kind of like the end, that was like, okay, it's over now. You can heal and move on, and then I hurt my knee, slammed it down on the pavement. I slipped on some slush, some snow, just enough to slip and not see it. And that hurt pretty bad. Bruised the hell out of it and just like ripped it up. It was just, the wounds were pretty bad. And I'm like, yeah, that'll probably be all right. That's just how I am. I'm usually okay. Whatever it is. Injuries, illness, usually pretty minor. Heal pretty good. But it hurt pretty bad, and I was, like, that's annoying. Pain coming from the knee there. I can't get comfortable. And then I started playing with it, and I was like, and I've done this emotionally a lot, because I don't really have a lot of physical pain most of the time, except headaches and tension headaches and things like that. So I was playing with the knee pain. And I've always noticed with me, like, I move fast. The kids say I have, like, ADHD. They're like, oh, you have ADHD. And I'm like, I prefer the term multitasker. Okay. Because we didn't talk about that when I was growing up. So I'm always doing more than one thing at a time. Moving fast. Not a slow mover. Not a slow walker. not a slow cleaner. I'm always running around. So I hurt myself a lot, and I'm clumsy because I'm not paying attention. And I've always noticed about myself that I could be bleeding and wounded and so focused on something else, I don't even feel it. And then I see it, and that's when the pain comes. So I was thinking about that with the knee. I was like, I'm so focused on this knee right now, you know? And it hurts really bad. And I don't like to take pain, Advil and all that stuff. I do if it gets serious, but um I was thinking and I'm like, why does this hurt so bad right now? Yeah, it's just bruised and it's just got wounds and it's all bandaged up and everything. It should, maybe I'm just too focused on it. And so I tried to think of something else, and it was just very distracting. The pain is very distracting. And so then I thought, well, maybe if I just accept this wound and accept that there is pain there, maybe it won't hurt so bad. So I'm playing with it. And so I thought about it, and well, okay, yes, Jennifer, you're an idiot, and you hurt yourself pretty bad that time. Slam that knee really hard down on that, on this uneven pavement and just ripped it all to shreds. So let's accept that we did that. Let's accept that it's probably going to take a week or two for that to heal. Let's accept that it's there. And when I did that, the pain subsided. I'm thinking, well, that's interesting. And of course, when I thought about it again, I could feel it again. And yes, it hurt at different times and woke me up in the middle of the night and all that. But just for a moment, I was able to not feel that pain because I had accepted that it was there, that it had happened, that it was a real thing, that yes, there is pain there. And I started thinking about it. I'm like, maybe do we suffer most of the time because we're fighting the pain? I'm not saying embrace pain and be, don't be weird. Okay. I'm just saying that emotional pain, losses in some way, uh, all different kinds of losses, physical limitations, all these things that we have, are we too focused on it? And and are we fighting that? Even the pain itself, I mean, I could still feel it, but not as bad. And it was like, now that I've accepted there's a part of my body here that hurts, why is the pain not so severe? Um, I think we do this with many, many things. I wrote some things down. Let me get it out of the phone. So it's not the loss itself that we're suffering from. It's fighting the acceptance of it. Fighting the acceptance of the pain. Fighting the acceptance of the loss. Fighting the acceptance that it didn't work out or that something is gone. Living back in that earlier time, like in a relationship, let's say. Living back in an earlier time and still fighting to get back there when things were good or when that didn't hurt. Okay? So by choosing to accept what has happened, it allows you to move forward and to decide what to do or where to go from here. This is where we create our tomorrow. This is how we let go. And the first step is acceptance that something hurts or something is over. And yes, you could go, we give it the justice it's due and we grieve the loss and we feel the feelings. We don't deny our feelings, but too often I think we stay too long in that place, trying somehow emotionally and mentally to get back to that place when everything was okay or that they were still here. And when we're talking about the loss of a loved one who's passed away, a pet, anything like that, we can't go back there. Fact of the matter is, you can't go back to anything. And we mourn our children growing up and not being small anymore. And we suffer from that instead of enjoying the age that they're at now. We do this with everything. And the further, do you ever know somebody who was a pain in the ass, but then they died? Like nobody wanted to be around them, but then they died? And now they're elevated to a place where everybody's just messed up and mourning. It really gives somebody an excuse to release or to mourn or to cry or whatever they're looking for. But so we'll look back at times, we call it nostalgia, like, oh, I want to be back there again. But was it really that great back there? Well, yeah, when the kids were little. But there was also times when you were totally stressed out and you were just like, oh my God, it's so loud and I can't handle this and I need a break and nobody's around and I just got to do this. But we look back at the good times. In a relationship, we look back at the good times. If we're injured now or sick now, we look back at the time when we weren't. And what we're doing, my point here is that we're fighting the acceptance of where we are now. And because of that, we add on needless suffering that doesn't have to be there. So when we get there and a marriage ends or a friendship ends or a job is lost or someone passes away, and which is a different situation. But how long are we choosing to grieve that and why? And some people will, because I can't help it. It won't go away. Well, how about we decide to accept completely what's happened, our responsibility in it, their responsibility in it, the real reasons for everything, what it was really like, and where we are now, and just start from here and move forward. So I've tried that now, done it over the years. I've thought about this, and you have to remind yourself to do it. And I've said this in different ways to the RV community. When people freak out and start crying and yelling and screaming and abusing everybody around them because they're tired of waiting. Okay, dude, well, we're here right now. You made it. Be happy that you've gotten this far. But why continue to mourn the time that we spent waiting? It's needless suffering. Unless you're looking for reasons to lash out, unless you're looking for reasons to be angry, and you say, well, I've had to wait this time and I have suffered. Here's my list of all the ways that I have suffered in my lifetime. And we do it. I've done it. Somebody comes to me and I'm like, listen, bud, all right, you don't know what you're dealing with because I've suffered this, and that, and I will kick your ass. All right? I do it too. But too often I've seen that people will use this list as reasons why they cannot move forward and they cannot be happy now or they cannot push past the pain. And what I'm learning and moving towards is God centered conscious creation to live a better life. And yes, Dr. Sarah, to be here, present now. And being here and present now is the highest of truth. Because we could take the past and look at it and say, oh, it was terrible, and focus on all the bad things that happened. Or we could look at the past and focus on all the good things that happened and say it was wonderful and I wish I could go back there. It's all up to you. It's all your perception. It's all what you choose to think about it. So if we've got a wound right now, we're waiting for it to heal, and ever so often, oh, that hurt pretty bad, that twinge there. That hurt. Well, let's just accept that that's doing that over there. That it's going to hurt, and it's going to itch, and it's going to do all these things that it's supposed to do, but someday soon it'll be gone. Okay? Or, yes, I've got this bum knee. Or, yes, I've got this back pain. And we focus on the pain, and we focus on the pain, and nothing we take can get rid of the pain. Well, how about we focus on something else? How about we accept that that hurts, and maybe it won't hurt so much? And what is pain really anyway? It kind of blows your mind when you start to think about it. So, accept where you are. Accept that that didn't turn out the way you wanted it. Accept that someone else's choices are theirs. And as hard as you tried, and as much as you want them to like you, or to be with you, or to treat you right, or whatever, they're going to do whatever they want to do anyway. How are you going to deal with it when they decide that they don't like you, or they don't want to be with you, or they can't, or they won't change? Where do you go from there? Do we sit around and focus on that pain and waste the precious moments that we could truly be living? It's not being cold. It's being conscious and choosing how you'd like to spend your time now. Disappointments really is something people suffer from most. So often I'll have a client who will be holding on to someone too long. And they'll ask me, well, I just need to know if he likes me. Are we ever going to be together? And they'll go from psychic to psychic to psychic till somebody tells them that they're going to be together. And I'll ask, well, when was the last time you talked to him? And they'll say, 8 years ago. Well, I said, what's his name? And I look, and he's like married. He's with somebody else. He has no thoughts of this person at all. Well, I saw him at the grocery store by chance the other day, and I thought maybe it was a sign. No. You're not moving forward. You're not allowing yourself to move forward. And for some reason, maybe are you choosing to stay or to hang on to this person who is unavailable to you? Are you trying to prove your self-worth to yourself? There's no possible way that they could possibly not be attracted to you or not like you. Yes, there is. Everybody's got their path written, and sometimes it involves somebody else. And that's hard because that's not what we wanted. But to hang on to someone who doesn't like you for years and years and use it as an excuse why you can't date anybody else and you can't move forward, well, that's more of a personal. I can't accept that pain. I can't accept what's happened, so I am in a limbo, and I'm not moving forward with my life. So, if somebody doesn't like you, or somebody doesn't agree with you, or somebody you're deemed unacceptable to them somehow, then let them think that. It doesn't have to be your opinion of yourself, because somebody else will see you and they will understand and that you are good and worthy. As far as letting go of pain from loved ones that passed away, I have lived that. That's a hard one. Will it keep popping its head up every once in a while? Yeah. And what I did then is I just cry it out, get back to accepting where you are now, and move forward. And I really hope you can't hear my stomach growling, because that's going to ruin the whole show. But I don't know why it chooses to do that when I'm like live. So my point here is, if we stay centered in pain and centered in loss, it's because we're not accepting it as a real thing. Okay? But once we do, then we can start healing. Then we can choose. Okay, well, I really liked him, but he didn't like me, and he wanted to go off with somebody else. Fine. I was wrong about that. That's not for me. I'm not going to go and try to convince somebody to like me. This is an example, okay? A lot of things I've heard in readings. And some people will go as far as say, well, maybe if I change this about myself and that about myself, and I would be acceptable and he would like me. And it's just like, what, why would you like somebody that doesn't like you? That's a very deep psychological thing we're doing there. Trying to prove ourselves to someone. Maybe I'll finally be acceptable to you. Well, why don't you just be acceptable to you now, or accept that who you are now is good? Or that where we are now has every possibility to get better by the choices that we make. Or allow that healing of that problem or that knee or whatever it is, by accepting that it hurts right now, but choosing that pain will go away because it's healing. And experience the healing of that. Experience day by day that doesn't hurt as much, because we're not staying centered in that pain and making it all consuming. This is one of the steps to controlling our thoughts and on to consciously creating a better life. So accepting that it hurts, accepting that it's not what we wanted, accepting that we didn't have control over that situation or that person or their thoughts and wishes or feelings, accepting that maybe we idolize that person over time because they didn't want us or because they left. At some point in time, we have to let go. And it is in letting go that we give ourselves space to choose what we would like to experience now. And energetically, it opens up doors for you. Because when you have something that hurts, you tell yourself, I can't go out, I can't do this, I can't. And part of that is true. Well, you could go out for a little while. I can't look for somebody new that I could possibly be happy with because, I'm all hung up on this guy from 8 years ago or whatever it was. What if he comes back? I hear people say. I was like, dude's gone. He has no idea that you feel this way for him. He has no idea of your feelings. He's off living his life, and that's what you should be doing too. So when we let go of the pain that imprisons us, we can choose to live and to have a show without, or not a show, I just read somebody's comment, have a life without pain. Maybe if we started saying, well, we've got this pain in our back or this pain in our knee or whatever, or that old emotional pain that's sitting right here or the lump in your throat. Maybe if we just start telling ourselves, that's not so bad anymore. I'm done with that. There was a poem that I posted that I saw on Facebook at a very interesting time. And I'm going to read it because it spoke to me. And so often, as an empathetic person, I have allowed way too much from people and accept way too much and ask for very little in return. Stay too long in relationships, stay too long in just fighting because I can't handle that I couldn't fix it. Right? Well, maybe if I just do this one more thing, maybe I can fix it. Well, sometimes things aren't ours to fix. And we can't control everything that people want to do. I find it. And you've all probably heard it before. It's just, I heard it, somebody recite part of it before, but I hadn't seen it written up. And I wonder if that person knows how helpful that poem is. It might. I've always known that it's like, you don't even realize how, I call them famous one-liners. It could just be one sentence or one thing that you say that somebody pulls out of their files when they need it or at the exact right time, and you have no idea the contribution you've made to that person's journey. It's called Let Them. If they want to choose something or someone over you, let them. If they want to go weeks without talking to you, let them. If they're okay with never seeing you, let them. If they're okay with always putting themselves first, let them. If they are showing you who they are, is a big one, and not what you perceive them to be, let them. And I'm going to add something here. And then accept the truth of that. If they want to follow the crowd, let them. Truthers, if they don't want to listen to what you're saying. If they judge you or misunderstand you, let them, because that's usually a very personal thing. It's usually about them more than it is you. If they act like they can live without you, definitely let them. If they want to walk out of your life and leave, hold the door open and let them. Let them lose you. You were never theirs because you always belong. You're always your own. So let them. I'm going to put a pin in that. Let them. we're fighting it. Fighting the acceptance of their truth or what they want, or the accepting less than we deserve, because we cannot accept this is over or not for us or didn't turn out the way we choose. We suffer needlessly from that. And so if they come back, let them show you who they truly are and not tell you. That's a big one right there. Everybody will tell you exactly how they are, but their actions are completely different than that. Um, Let them prove how worthy they are of your time. And so often, especially women, so often I run across men who are just like, well, of course they love me. Well, of course they want to be with me. I'm absolutely great. I'm absolutely perfect in every way. I'm walking around shopping for my woman, and the women are like, do you think they accept me? I don't know if anybody would accept me, and all this stuff. They're so worried about it. Um, Let them prove to you that they're worthy of your time. You know, I think that leads to so many bad choices because we're always looking for see if somebody likes us. Do you really like them? Or did you convince yourself that you like them because they accepted you in the beginning or want to control you? Second, stupid. Um, Let them make the necessary steps to be part of your life. That's the in the accepting too little. Let them earn your forgiveness. That's a big one. People wrong us and hurt us, and then they come back and say, well, I'm sorry. Will you take me back? Why? So you can do it again? Over and over again? I was like, oh, well, I'm done. I'm not going to do that again. Well, I can't believe that. I'm going to have to see some, show me that you've changed. A lot of people don't show you, they just tell you. Let them call you to talk to you about ordinary things. That's a big one for me because everybody talks to me or says they're my friend or loves me for what I can do for them. It's always been that way. Let them take you out on a Thursday. Let them talk about anything and everything just because it's you they're talking to. Let them have a safe place in you. Let them see the heart in you that didn't harden. Let them love you that didn't harden. So many of us have been through so many things, especially this community. And on a soul level, when you see that, and it's usually at the hands of other people, that means you're being trained to be a wise one. And probably a very bright, like sometimes we call them old souls, wise soul. And sometimes if you're going to do something great, or just be a great teacher, or just be the wise one at the center of the family, you'll walk through many different lessons. And it's not like they're inflicted upon you. It's opportunities to be strong, really. And people will see you after all of those things that you have endured and carried through and say, you're so strong. But then tell them, you know what? I am because of where I've been. But I didn't let it harden me. I didn't let it diminish me. I didn't let it take me and make me become those people that hurt me. That's important on a soul journey. So, as we're learning to consciously create, see it, say it, be it, along with God, because we need the highest vibration to create anything really good or really strong. let's kick or pick the stones out of that stream, or kick the stones out of our path, or maybe take the chains off of us from that big stone that we've been carrying from a long time ago that's slowing us down, and accept all these things that have happened, and accept that we've already conquered this, accept that we've already emotionally dealt with this enough, and we can go ahead and accept it now and let it go. And for the people that would not change or would not listen, despite your efforts, or did not like you for whatever reason, let them go too. No, children, we're always going to be there for the kids. Okay? You don't just stop loving your children. You don't have to stop loving these people. But you do have to accept that I don't have any control over this situation anymore. I'm going to let them be them and do their thing. And with kids, I'll be here, always here. When you need counsel or help, or if you want to come back, that's fine. But especially now in this community with people who have turned against us for what we believe, we got to let them be them as much as we're asking them to let us be us, and to lead by example with that, and to let go of all these pains and this heavy baggage that we carry around. Give it to God and ask God, God, help me move forward to this place and this happiness that I seek, or this healing that I seek, because I'm done with that now. Because on a spiritual level, that's what God will see, and that's when you're trying to create something, or with the prayers, the unanswered prayers, and we don't understand why. A lot of times with the healings, are you done with it? Because focusing on it and making it your identity, no matter where you go and what you do, this is me. I am classified by these pains that I carry, or these injuries that I have, or this badge for this illness. I'm not letting it go. It's too big for me. It's who I am, and I have no power over it. Well, we're working towards conscious creation here. We have to stop saying these things. I have to say, well, yeah, that hurt. That sucked. And yeah, it kind of still hurts now. But I'm healing now. I'm moving forward now. I am worthy of love now. I am not what they say I am. I believe in me. All of the things that we say to ourselves, all of these negative thoughts and these limiting beliefs, turn it around and state the opposite. And start living and moving towards that goal, or living that. We pray, some people pray obsessively, God, I just want to be happy. God, I just want to be loved. God, I just want to be free. Be all those things now. We're like, well, I can't be all these things now because nobody loves me and I'm not free and I have to do all these things I don't want to do. And this hurts and that hurts and that's not real and blah, blah, blah. I don't want to change. I don't want to let go of it. I don't want to create anything more than this prison I've created for myself. Choose to open that door by letting it all go. And stop accepting less than you deserve. Understanding somebody be nice to you. Now, you're all humanitarians and empaths and everything, so you may not get exactly as much as you get back as much as you give. I've heard that from most people. But you could get back from an individual you choose to be with or spend your time with or whatever a lot more. Because what these people learn is that you're accepting it's okay for them to treat you bad because you keep coming back. It's okay to pass you over for someone else until they're ready for you because you keep coming back. It's okay for them to act like that even though they saw that it hurt you and the family or whatever because you keep coming back. And so what you're telling them is that this is acceptable behavior. But when you stop and care and stand up for yourself and say, this behavior is no longer acceptable to me. I'm going to move forward. I'm going to let go of this and you, and I'm not going to retaliate against you because that keeps me centered in it. And I'm not going to think about revenge or anything of that. I'm just going to move forward now and find something else or a place to be where I heal or where I am appreciated or where I am loved or where I am smiling and I am surrounded by people who do give back. And that's choice. And that's letting go. And the first step to that is acceptance of what happened and how we got here and why. And then leave it there. Okay? I do have to get going. I ran out of time. I get up on my soapbox and then the time just, it's been an hour. So just planting seeds here. They're concepts and things that people have said over and over throughout time many times. But we're at a place right now where we've got lots of lists that this community has been keeping, and one of them especially is the timing on the RV. Now I'm trying to cover up my timelines in any way, okay? But I tried really hard for that, okay? It's coming one way or another. I cannot, and I cannot accept. I can accept that I've been wrong. Yeah, I've always been able to do that. But I need to also accept that other people's decisions will always change the date and the outcome. Okay? We got a lot of other people's decisions going on with this RV. So, let's just start here now, like I always say. Choose the today. And the sun's shining for the first time today. It just like, boom, came out right now. That's nice. Let's say today, we're gonna let go of all of our lists and everything that's gone before, and all the time that we've waited. And if we do that, the time that we have left to wait is not very long. And we're going to accept everything in our lives that has happened up until now, whether it was our fault or anybody else's fault, and we'll just understand that people have faults and that decisions are theirs and yours. And maybe we could open up the doors to the cage that has kept us imprisoned in the pain and decide that today is a new day and the rest of my life is going to be the best of my life because I'm wiser now. And we're going to move forward one day, one moment at a time to achieve those goals, to heal, allow the healing, allow the positive, allow the creation to take place by dumping. Let's say you had a clean white towel, okay? And you're washing it, and you're washing it, and you're trying to get it clean, and you get every terrible chemical you can think of to get that thing clean. And then every time you every time you get it clean, you take it out of the bucket and you drop it on the dirt. all this dirt that's around your feet because you never cleaned the floor. You never sweeped out the cobwebs and the crap from your mind and your heart and everything else. And so you put it back on the floor and it's just dirty again. And I just keep washing it. Okay, let's let all that crap go. Let's sweep the floor, clean out the house, clean up your life, and just move forward and consciously create a better now and a better tomorrow. Okay? I did want to take your questions, but I talked too long. I feel like we have some really exciting things happening at the end of the week, and I don't know what it is yet. I'll try and go look and see if I can get anything for tomorrow's show for Real News Live with Mike and Jen on Rumble. Get over there. If you guys want to go follow my Fallawsophy channel on Rumble, that's where I'm going to be. I'm going to start that up soon when I get more time. But thank you for listening to me today and being part ever so often with the little seeds that I plant to teach you how to consciously create. I'm learning along with you. And as I learn something, I share it with you. Let's see how we can do with it. Let's see if we can feel better now. Okay? All right. Have a wonderful day. And I will see you guys tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Pacific or 10:05 Pacific, 9 p.m. 12 p.m. Eastern on Real News Live with Mike and Jen on Rumble. Have a great day. Bye.